So welcome to a new Game Stuff episode, and when this airs, which will be on a Sunday, it's just a couple of days after my 49th birthday. I can't believe it either. It's just like, I can't believe it. It's crazy. Next year, I'm going to do an episode, The 50-Year-Old Gamer. I'm going to be there, and what's so amazing is I've been doing these episodes now for 15 years come this March. 15 years doing this show. And I want to say one thing before I get into the new game stuff is that my enthusiasm on my first day, my enthusiasm on my 15th year, absolutely the same. In fact, I enjoy video games even more now than I did back then. I think because I was a smoker back then. And now I'm just loving video games even more. And I really enjoy doing these episodes, or I wouldn't do them. And I'm so thankful for you that you 15 years later, you're still watching. It's absolutely amazing. And I will ask you guys, what's some new things that you picked up recently? Some new video games, some new merch? Let me know down below. Got some fun things to get through here, that is for sure. And we're gonna start off going back old school. Yes, back to the Genesis, back to the Mega Drive. I just picked this up from my local video game store, Press Start, and I traded some things in. I got a bit of a deal on this, and that's the thing, because this is Grindstormer, a great shooter on the Genesis. And I've mentioned in the past here, I've recently been getting into Genesis shooters, shmups, if you want to call them that, again. And it's one of those things, I'm not really a retro collector anymore. I've basically got every video game that I've ever kind of wanted. But for some reason, all of a sudden, I'm going back to my early days on the Genesis and some of the fun that I had there. And this is one game that I always absolutely wanted. And let's just say something here. Grindstormer. They don't make names like that anymore, do they? For shoot 'em ups. I mean, just ridiculous some of the names they came up with back then. And very thrilled to get this. It's up there with Truxton for me and all the great Genesis shooters. But yeah, I've been getting into Genesis shooters lately. Very unusual. Okay, Paper Mario, The 1,000-Year Door. No. I didn't just buy this game. I've always had this game since it came out. But guess what? Something really strange happened. And I've looked everywhere. I think I mentioned this game before. One day, a couple of years ago, I went to open it up, and the game was missing. Yeah, the game was missing. And I was heartbroken because I loved this game so much on the GameCube. It's one of those games that I think back to with a lot of fond memories. And the game wasn't there. So I was really gutted. So when I was in Press Start, I noticed that they had a Paper Mario game there, and I'm like, oh my god, do you have the game in there? And they're like, yeah, but we don't have the manual, we don't have this. And I'm like, can I buy the game off you? And they're like, sure. And they gave me a great deal as well, and they buffed it all up for me right there. And so I was able to get back my original game. I don't know what happened. I mean, I've had people over here during the years. I'd hate to think that anybody would steal it. I've looked everywhere. Obviously in the GameCube, it wasn't there. It was just one of those mysteries. One of those strange mysteries. Shining Force. I have a copy of Shining Force. No, I don't. That's also has gone missing over the years. I don't know what happened to that. Very strange stuff, but very happy to get back my copy of Paper Mario, The 1,000-Year Door, a classic. So makes me feel good. I got this on the shelf. I'm like, yes, this is where it's supposed to be. Okay, this next thing is very, very frustrating, but it had a good ending to it. But very frustrating to begin with. How many of you out there wanted to get the Genesis Mini 2? For any of you in the United States, no problem. You go on Amazon, you order it, it comes, that's it, right? Perfect for you. I'm happy for you guys. But up in Canada, I go to Amazon.ca, nope. I go to Amazon.com, try to ship it to my address, won't let me. Very frustrated because I wanted the Genesis Mini. And I was like looking at all my different options. I'm like, eBay's way too expensive, like ridiculous. People are making it like almost double the price at times. I was like, no. Well, thankfully, I have some friends, and especially my one friend, Kevin Lieber of Vsauce fame. we're old school fans. I've ordered some things for him in the past and vice versa. And I asked him, I'm like, hey, can I send you the money and you have it shipped to your house and I'll pay for the shipping up to me? And I knew it was a bit of a hassle. I felt really bad for doing it. He said, no problem. And he did it. So this showed up wonderfully. But he sent me this. This is so funny. Oh my God. This is me here. This is what he drew for me. Anyways, guys, until next time, wearing a Fancy Star shirt, Dynamite Ducks is there. One of my most hated games. Kid Nicky, a game that really frustrated me. And Bravo Man on the TurboGrafx. I really appreciated this, Captain. It made me laugh when I got it. I was like, this is too funny. So I want to thank you for doing the due diligence of sending this up to me. I know it was a hassle, but it's come to the right home. And now that I've shown it in this episode, I can't wait to open this up and play all of the games. I'm really looking forward to, of all games, Sonic CD. Yes, that game. I'm looking forward to that. I think I have an entire episode to do about the time period of that game, and looking really forward to that. And I know, listen to me, I know you can get all these stuff, all of these games on emulation. I can emulate them now, but I wanted the official Sega Genesis, Mini, because I'm an old school Sega fan that keeps, pulling at my heartstrings, and I keep, coming back for more. And I absolutely think this is fantastic, and I'm looking forward to playing it. Were any of you guys able to get this? I feel sorry for anybody who's up in Canada or around the world who wasn't in the United States. Very difficult to get. Okay, this game here should have been on my Games of the Year list. I don't know why I didn't include it. I had a lot going on in the end of the year. It's one of those ones that I missed. It should have been on my Games of the Year list, and that is for Stray. Finally, a physical copy of the game has come out, and I absolutely adore the game. I mean, I was playing it and my daughter was watching me, and she was just like thinking it was the most amazing thing because she loves cats. So being able to run around as a cat in kind of like a cyberpunk kind of world, very cool stuff, and a high recommendation. Have any of you guys played Stray? What did you think about it? I think the game is really, really cool. So yes, it's nice to be getting some games that were digital only that are now physical copies, including this little game right here, Cuphead. Cuphead. I used to play this with Victor Lucas over at his place when the game first came out, and I remember we were just like, I can't believe how hard this game is. And I played a lot of old school, difficult games, but this game was like, wow, what a challenge. And the one thing that I can say, one of the greatest graphical styles I have ever seen done in a video game. I think it's incredible how they're doing that 1920s, 30s, 40s look and turning it into a video game. The animation, especially for myself, going to film school and doing animation there as well, I really appreciate the level of work they put into the animation itself. Second to none, and a wonderful game. I mean, this is something that I highly recommend to anybody, but no, there is a steep learning curve, but the more and more you play it, the better at it you get. But man, I'm still trying to get better at it. This game is very, very cool though. Okay, I had a lot of people asking me if I was playing this game, if I was getting this game. All I can say is this: I have picked the game up. No, I have not played it, and that is for Soul Hackers 2. Yes, I mean, everybody's been going on about this game. You know me and Kim, we love our Atlas games, and during Christmas, I mean, there was so much going on that this game kind of went through the cracks, and I think it did for a lot of people. I am hearing from some friends of mine they're really enjoying the game, and I'm looking forward to getting to this. I hope I can, because we're getting into 2023 right now, and we're moving ahead with even more new games, so I hope I can get this into the backlog. Maybe Kim wants to take this on. Who knows? One of my games of the year last year, one of them, was Ghostwire Tokyo. And I picked this up on the cheap for the PS5 here. And yeah, I was sent a review copy. I played it and I said, guys, this is a really cool game, but it's going to be a cult game. And it's going to go under everybody's radar. And it did. It did. But I really, really like the game. I needed a physical copy of the game. Running around in Tokyo, the investigation, the spells, and all the things that you can do. Very interesting, very kind of surreal, very creepy. One of those games that I still think about to this day. I'll always go Ghostwire Tokyo. I'm like, that was a fun experience, and I really would love it if more people played this game. I think it's worth it, and it's on the cheap now. Now, I had to get this game on the Nintendo Switch, Nier Automata. Absolutely, I love the game. When it was on PS4, I thought it was absolutely incredible, over-the-top, platinum action, with a very interesting storyline, very surreal storyline, and has become a big-time classic now. Everybody talks about this game. Everybody loves it. And you know what? I saw some friends of mine streaming the game because I was like, how is this game going to handle on the Nintendo Switch? Not bad. I was quite surprised. And I thought, with my Switch collection, this is the one game that needs to be added to that collection. A true classic game. And I'm preaching to the audience here. You guys already know how cool this game is. Now, I ordered this ages ago. It showed up just before Christmas. Very thrilled to get it. Yes, I know I'm talking about it again because I bought another special edition of it because I love this game. I gave it a 10 out of 10 on the show. I've gone on multiple rants in depth of why I love this game, and that is Ys 8, the Lacrimasa of Donna, and this is the PS5 special edition. And do you want to see something funny? I wrote PS5 on the back of it so I don't get it mixed up with the PS4 version or the Switch version. I think the Switch version's a little bit smaller, but just in case. Really love this game. And obviously Ys 8, one of the better ones in the series. And there's a lot of great games in the series, let me say that. But Ys 8, a true classic, and one of those games that I know I'm going on, I would love for everybody to play. It's one of those action RPGs that is really, really good. A little bit too much talking at times, but when you get into the action RPG combat, it's beyond reality and a memorable game and a wonderful Ys game. Now, I have a friend of mine in town. He's a movie critic. His name is Brando Critic. And yeah, we've become friends. And we went to Willow Video Games one day and we were just chatting about some stuff and all that. And then when I went to see Avatar at the end of the year, he came up to me with this little box and he's like, "Here, I got you something." And I'm like, "What?" And I opened it up. Very, very sweet. Very, very sweet, because we went to Willow and we were talking about how much we love Kingdom Hearts. And I'm like, yeah, I never picked up a physical copy of Kingdom Hearts 2. And you know what? For Christmas, he bought me a copy of Kingdom Hearts 2 on the PS2. And I just want to say thank you so very much. I mean, very, very heartwarming to me. I mean, I opened this up and he got my wife a little whiskey, you know, and he got my daughter a little Pikachu. And I just want to say that was like one of the nicest things during Christmas time. Something very unexpected. And I definitely have to take you out for dinner. That is for sure. And I just want to say thank you for Kingdom Hearts 2. It's definitely going on my shelf with Kingdom Hearts 1. Okay, are you ready for a surprise? Because I wasn't. Okay, I get a random email from a company, and they're like, "Oh, we want to send you something on behalf of Square Enix." I'm like, "Oh yeah." And with these emails, I never usually answer them because I'm almost like, I don't know if I believe this. So I had a little bit of a back and forth, and I'm like, "Really? Is this legit?" And they're like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Okay, fine, absolutely." And so all they wanted was my shirt size, so I sent them that. All of a sudden, there's a knock on my door weeks later, and this showed up. And this is just unbelievable. This is just unbelievable. Are you ready for this? This is Crisis Core. All legends have a beginning. This box shows up. And I'm like, what is this? What is this? And I want to say for the record here that I reviewed Crisis Core. I played it, the first day it came out. I just gave my first thoughts on the game, and I love the game. I genuinely love the game. It had nothing to do with anything from the company or anything like this. I finished the game. It was the biggest surprise at the end of the year, and then this was the next surprise because I didn't expect this. And so this showed up, and you guys will be like, this is so crazy and so fitting for me personally. I'm gonna open it up for you. It's a Crisis Core flight jacket. Like, seriously. I'm gonna take it out. Look at this. Well, you guys know I've worn a flight jacket for years, the one that Rob gave me for Christmas years ago. And I just loved, the present so much that Rob gave me that I wore it for years. And I love flight jackets. And can you believe this? This is a Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core reunion flight jackets. Just ridiculous. And I just want to say thank you to the PR company that sent this over. I'm sorry for doubting you. I get kind of weary when people are like, oh, we work for Square Enix. I'm like, you do? And I just want to say thank you so much for sending this over. It really shocked me, and I thought it was so thoughtful, and a game that I already adored. You didn't have to win me over with this. I already adored Crisis Core, and this was just such a strange surprise for the end of the year, and one that I recommend to play. Not because I got a jacket, I was recommending it before that Crisis Core is absolutely an amazing game, and one that I highly, highly recommend, so what a surprise. Okay, this one's funny, because every time that I think I'm out, they pull me back in. And what am I talking about? I talked about it in an episode. I got the first Berserk, graphic novel, the big one, and I read through it, and I thought it was amazing. And I'm like, I can't do it. I can't collect all the rest of them. It's just such a time commitment, and they just take up so much space. But I adored the manga. I thought it was so good. So Kim for Christmas got me the second volume, and I haven't cracked it open yet because I know once I do, I'm in. And I love the first Berserk. I think the art in this and the storyline is some of the best that Japan has ever created, and I adore the manga. I think it's brilliant, very over the top, very gory, very dark, very bleak, and that's everything that I love about it. So it's funny, every time I go into Toys R Us, I know we still have Toys R Us up in Canada. There's a manga section, and I always go and they have Berserk there, and when I go up there, I'm always like, you don't have the second one, do you? And they're always like, they have the fifth volume and up. And I'm like, oh, thank God they don't have the second volume, or I get suckered back in. Where Kim is getting me back in. Anyways, very thankful for her picking me this up for Christmas. Very cool. And I can't wait to read it. And my last item is one final art book. And I had this pre-ordered about a year ago. And it kept saying delayed, delayed, delayed. And then I got a shipping notification just before Christmas, and it arrived. And the book is Nier Art by Koda Kazuma. And man, this is all of the background art and concept art for Nier. And what a wonderful game. I was already just talking about the Switch game there, and yeah, flipping through this, seeing some of the paintings, and I know a lot of this is digital paintings nowadays, but still, you gotta take your breath away here by looking at some of this stuff. And big fan of the game, and just to have the artwork and just to see some of the concept work that went in before they even started the game is extraordinary. And I think, don't we at times take a game for granted? We're like, oh, that looks good. Oh, wow, that looks amazing. And you forget that there was like almost a year of prep work just designing the look of the world with different artists in mind. And definitely a book that I wanted to pick up, and one that has absolutely not disappointed. That is for sure. So guys, we've come to the end of another new Game Stuff episode, and I'll ask you, what have you picked up in the way of new game stuff lately? In the way of games or merch? Let me know down below. So anyways, guys, until next time.